Alright, what's up, guys? So, I was just getting ready to go to sleep. It's 2 a.m. right now. But, anyways, I saw this tweet and I was like, nah, man, I gotta talk about it. You know, it's no disrespect to Nadeshot. He is entitled to his opinion. I'm not trying to take away his opinion from him. But at the same time, I am going to talk about this. I am going to say how I overall feel about this tweet. So, as you guys can read, if you can read, if not, I'll read it for you. Everybody in the gaming community wants games to fail. It's very bizarre. Nadeshot calls out gaming fans for negativity on new games. Now, here's the thing. I know when a new game gets announced. All right, let's just say a video game is getting announced. Let's say it's some racing game that takes place on space, right? I'm like, oh, okay, cool, dope. I'm looking forward to that. I've never seen no racing games on space before, besides Mario Kart, and they got me on Rainbow Road, but it looks like that, but with like realistic cars. I'm all for it. Let's do it. Let's play that game when that game comes out. So let's say that the developers, they go down the route of the day before, right? You know, they show us one game, but they give us another game, but they tease the game for 2 years, right? So they tease the game for 2 years. I'm hyped for it. They're showing all these different trailers and gameplay videos and all this other stuff. And I'm like, fam, this game is about to be good, okay? Day before, I'm like, all right, I'm making sure of it. I'm telling people, don't contact me, don't talk to me. This game is going to be occupying my 24 hours of whatever day it is. The game comes out, game don't start up. The game, it's a completely different game from what they showed. Visuals is different, car sounds is different, everything. It's pretty much a different game. I'm like, what is this, you know? And then let's just say in today's society of games, it only has one game mode. It only has one game mode, one track, 5 cars. That's all you get. Oh, you gotta wait until next week or next month or maybe even the next year for a content update. And you know, let me just actually show off some games real quick, because I have been like going retro game shopping for a while now, and I just want to find a good video game where it was well put together. It had a gang of content. You know what, just naming off a game right now, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Now, how would you guys have felt if, let's say, this was back in the day, PlayStation 2, where it was only like maybe the 25% of the game that was released, and then there was like, oh, next year you'll have to wait for the other 25%, and then the year after that you'll have to wait for the other 25%, and then final year, then you get the rest. You pretty much get the rest of the game and stuff. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas wouldn't have been as good as how people hype it up today. People, if that game would have came out today, no, the game did come out today. Look at the reviews that it got. They tried to do this like remastered version of it, and it wasn't good. People didn't like it. People would rather go back and play the old version than the new version. That's not good. So my question is like, you literally had a masterpiece of a video game. All you just had to do was remaster it. And look how that turned out. It wasn't good. So, and it trips me out that it's like, that's pretty much what the new normal is with video games, is that we have to wait for the game to be good, versus back then, you didn't have to. The only time when you had to wait was when that game was releasing to the public. Other than that, you didn't have to wait for it to release to the public, then wait 2-3 months down the road for a content update, then 2-3. That's unnecessary. That is very, very unnecessary. And then it trips me out when there's indie games where they give you all this content, and it's like, fam, a video game, for an example, I wouldn't really call it an indie game, but comparing it to like other like developing companies and all that stuff, like their but just overall talking on their video game, Warframe. That's a video game where when I see that game compared to Destiny, there's not even a fair comparison. It's like, yeah, you know, Destiny might have the audience, but Warframe 100% has the content. Now, why is that? Why is it that a company that nobody never even heard of has more content than a company that has the money, that has the resources? You can hire more developers. You literally can put out a game 100 times bigger than Warframe, and you don't. And then you wonder why people don't like Destiny right now. Well, they don't like it because the developer is, he pretty much scammed people, fired all these employees, and then spent like, what was it, $2-3 million on a bunch of old cars and stuff. Like, that's where we're at with video game developer, or just people like the higher ups in the video game industry. You got a lot of careless people out there where it's like they're willing to put out a tech demo versus a full complete game, and then on top of that, them putting out the tech demo, we have to pay for the tech demo. That's not, and that's something where I don't, I think it was just, well, I don't know, I feel like I didn't really say it in this video, but I have said it before in the past, that I come from that day and age of Nintendo 64 games, PlayStation 2 games, even some PlayStation 3 games. I'm saying, even the Nintendo Wii. I came from a generation of gaming where games were complete. Games were fun. It wasn't like, and then that's another thing I feel that I was just talking about this on my podcast, where it's like, what's up with this trend of when a game comes out, everybody wants to release their own version of it. Like, for an example, I remember when the whole Battle Royale, King of the Hill like type video games were coming out. You had Fortnite, you had PUBG, you had H1Z1. I'm trying to think of some other ones out there. I remember I seen one where it was about cars. Even Forza, I think, it was like Forza Horizon 4, where they added their own Battle Royale mode. And then now it's like the new, or not new, but it's like the genre that's blowing up after people have seen how much money Escape from Tarkov done made. Now everybody's trying to make an extraction shooter, but they're not making, that's the thing though, they're not making a game different. They're not making a game unique. And then when you do get that different or unique game, it usually ends up being an indie game. For an example, Supermarket Simulator. It's funny how that game, it's not this over-the-top, first person or third person shooter. It's not this extremely difficult, fighting game, like talking on games like Elden Ring and stuff. What are some other games out there? It's not any of those games. It's literally you opening up a supermarket and just, buying random items and then serving it to customers. And then just going on about, fam, how many hours did I put into that game? I gotta see real quick. But overall, hold on for a second, because I didn't want to do that. Okay, Supermarket Simulator. I put 31 hours into that game. And the thing is this, that's just from me streaming it. I can only imagine if I wasn't a content creator and I was playing that game, I probably would have doubled, if not triple the amount of hours into that game. Because it's one of those games where it's like, I can look at that game and be like, wow, like this is a different area. But it's like, I feel like what gaming is today, it's like, okay, there's McDonald's, all right, well established, everybody knows of it. Oh, a new restaurant is opened up. Oh, let me see what that is. It's pretty much McDonald's but blue. And then you got another one where it's like, okay, same color, same everything else, but instead of it being called McDonald's, it's called Woodonald's. I'm saying, it's like, that's the problem with gaming today. It's like, fam, gaming is not fun. That's why you have a lot of people out there. When my thing is this, to just ask anybody that plays NBA 2K. I know I've been heavily critical on this game lately and for some time now, but anyways, would you guys rather have a video game that is fully functional, pretty much what you would want NBA 2K to be? Would you rather have what NBA 2K is right now, or what you would want that game to be? You would want the game to be what you want it to be. You want it to be a fun game. I think that's what everybody wants when it comes to their favorite video game. They want the video game to be good. That's it. That's the only thing that they want. So my thing is this. If I play a video game and I don't like it, now maybe it could just be me being bad at the game. That could be the case. But are you gonna say that with everybody? Like, if this game, my thing is this: I know I might have my fair share of games that I just overall don't like, because I'm like, yeah, for an example, Elden Ring. I'm like, why is that game like? If I'm making a game like that, it's like, okay, I know there's gonna be people that's gonna want to play the game for the story. So how about this? We just gonna add a little bit of an easy mode on the game so people could just get through the story, because that's what I overall would have wanted for that game. But not to have it where it's like I'm just keep constantly getting killed left and right, and I'm like, I can't even pretty much do nothing. I'm like, there ain't no end point to the game because I can't get to the end point, you know. So, but that's just my own personal feelings on that game. I know everybody in the world loves Elden Ring, so let me stop talking about it, because then it'd be people, you get them Elden Ring fans, or they're like, you don't know what you're talking about. It's a skill issue. I'm like, I ain't even trying to go down that route. So, but anyways, but I'm like, but then talking about the video game that does get like an overwhelmingly negative rating, I'm like, fam, when I think of some games that get an overwhelmingly negative rating, I think of Batman Arkham Knight. I remember when that game came out, everybody didn't like it. It got to the point where Steam was like, if you want your money back, it doesn't matter how long you guys have been playing this game. It doesn't matter how long you've had this game. You can get your money back at any given point in time you want to get your money back. Then they fixed, and that's the thing. I feel like with a lot of developers, they need to get put through some crap like that. They need to get, because it's like you see games like Call of Duty, for an example, where they just like, yeah, we'll put out some mediocre game, make it seem like it's going to be the biggest Call of Duty of all time, then it's not. And then that's why that Call of Duty has negative ratings, you know. And it's like, you think of other games, oh my god, the day before, let's bring back up that old game. And it's like, you can't tell me that everybody that didn't like that game, they were wrong for not liking that game. When you, because what I thought that game was going to be, I thought it was going to be pretty much a Division game, like how Tom Clancy's The Division. I thought it was going to be that with zombies. What did they do? They ended up just making Escape from Tarkov, but with zombies. So pretty much, if Escape from Tarkov and DayZ had a baby, that's what the day before it was. And I'm thinking to myself, like, fam, if I wanted to play those two games, I would have very well bought those two games. But it's like, you guys, with the delays, with the last minute changes, with having it where it's like the game comes out, nobody can even play it and stuff unless they get into a server in time. That's stuff that gamers don't want to deal with. We want to deal with games that we were playing back on the PlayStation 2 era. And it trips me out. Like, there's this one game called Hot Lap Racing where people were getting it, like, they were being critical. And yeah, maybe to a point, Nadeshot is right, because people were criticizing this game, this Hot Lap Racing game, because of the visuals. They were like, oh, the trees, they don't look like good trees. And I'm thinking to myself, that's a developer that actually sat down and paid attention and worked on that game. You were able to play that game when it came out. Can you say that about Helldivers? Can you say that about the day before? Cyberpunk 2077, when that game came out. I'm trying to think of some other games that came out and they didn't do good. I'm saying, like, there's developers out there that just don't care. And then you got developers that do care, but then they're the ones that's getting bad ratings. And I'm like, fam, why are they getting bad ratings? That just doesn't even make any sense to me. So, yeah, the thing is this. You know, you got people out there where it's all like, yeah, like I said, they probably just out there just giving video games bad reviews just for whatever reason they got made up in their head. And then there's people where it's like they do have legitimate reasons on why they're giving that game a bad review. Because it's a bad game. Not bad in a good way, bad in an OG bad way. Like, I'm saying, there's games that I didn't play this year, last year. Like, it done got me to the point where I'm like, fam, when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, and let's just say that game comes out and it's not good either. So it's like, what, we gotta circle all the way back to this tweet, and then it's like I gotta blame myself for Rockstar developing this game, but not even developing in a way where it's working. You're developing in a way where it's all like, fam, is this even considered a video game? You got video games out there where it might as well just be considered, it ain't even a video game, it's a cash grab. I'm not playing video games for that reason. The thing is this, if I done had me a long, stressful day, right? Like, this is, I just want to lay out two different types of days, all right? I had myself a long straight. We're not two different types of days, but two different types of examples. But the thing is this: it's like I done had myself a long, stressful day. I done been through the worst. I'm like, fam, when I get home, I just want to play this video game and relax. Okay. Now, first example, video game. Fully completed. All the content that they came out with, that's all the content that they're gonna come out with. Yeah, they might come out with a DLC, I guess, if they don't want to come out with a whole different video game. They're like, let's just add content onto the game. Let's add missions. Let's add new weapons. Let's do this. Let's do that. But overall, have it where the audience is having fun. Okay, cool. I can work with that. DLC content, cool. 60 something dollar video game, 70 something dollar video game, okay, cool. $10 DLC, $15 DLC, okay, cool. But my thing is this: I'm paying that much for a video game, I better be having fun. But okay, so let's lay out another example. Long day, stressful. I'm like, fam, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to look at nobody. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to come home and play this video game. Let's say it's the day before on day one, okay? Now, I want people to also embrace this example with me. You come home, long, stressful day, work, school, wherever, all right? But you're like, man, I cannot wait to play this game. I have been waiting 2 years for this game to come out. Let's play it, all right? You turn your computer on. You sign in, do all the stuff that you need to do. You double click Steam. Steam does its little loading process. You see that the day before is available, so you go ahead. You done spent, how much was that game when it came out? Like $49.99. However much money you spend, however much money it costs to play that game. All right, that's money coming out your pocket. That's money where it's like you could be using that for food, clothes, sneakers. You could be using it for anything in this world, right? But you're using it to support these developers. Now, all you just ask for is that respect I have for buying your guys' game. Just have the respect of making a fully developed working game, right? So anyways, take some time to download, go make you something to eat. Food was kind of cold. Now it just even adds more stress to it. So you're all like, man, I already know, like, all this stress that I'm going through, I already know this game's about to be fun. You start the game up, game won't start up. You try starting it up again, game won't start up. So you're all like, okay, well, let me just maybe turn off my computer. Maybe it might be that situation. Turn off my computer, turn it on again, sign in, Steam, all that blah, blah, and stuff. But anyways, you open up the day before. Click on it, game's loading, try to join the server, can't join the server. What's up with that? What's up with every video game wanting to be an online only game? But because I'm like, that game, I felt like that if it was an offline game where if they had like an offline mode, that game definitely would have still been out to this day. But anyways, you try starting the game after the fact. You didn't just restarted your PC. You try starting the game up. Okay, so after the 15th try, you're able to get into the game. All of a sudden, whole computer done crashed. Gotta pretty much turn off your computer, turn it off again, start the game up, same old, same old. Does that sound like a good game? Does that sound like a game that you're gonna want to keep? Does that sound like a game that you're gonna want to give it an overwhelmingly positive review? No. You're not. You're going to give that game a negative review, and that's why it's like people out there be giving games negative. I don't think, me personally, I feel like it's a very small amount of people that just be out there just negatively reviewing video games, but I feel like if a game got negative reviews, most likely it's something's wrong with that game, all right? Like, there's this one game, there's this extraction shooter game called Gray Zone Warfare. Why do you think people, it's like if you actually sit down and take the time to read the reviews, it's like, and even I haven't played the game myself to know, yeah, them reviews are pretty accurate. The game is very, it seems like you have to have like a top of the line, the best of the best of the best of the best gaming computer just to play that one game. And I'm like, bro, I ain't even trying to do all that. So it's like, I'm just saying, me personally, if a game got good or if it got bad ratings, I think it deserves it. But if the game got good ratings, then there's something good about it, then it's like, it's one of those things where it's like at the end of the day, if the person, whoever it is, the person that's watching this video or seeing this tweet, you want to go out and play a game that got negative reviews. I didn't play games that got negative. Forza Motorsport, for an example, but that's a game where I'm like, yeah, I think the negative reviews is, like they deserve it, because for one, that game it pretty much has no content. It's a tech demo. It's a tech demo game, but they have you you paying money for it, or you have to pay the Xbox Game Pass subscription to play it. I'm like, man, no, that's messed up. But then you got other games where it's all like, you ain't even gotta do all this extra. You ain't gotta pay all this extra money. You got games that cost less than the most expensive game in the world, and they give you more content. I'm saying, like, and those be the games that be having, like Pal World, for an example. That was it. That's a solid game. That's a game where I'm like, I need to start back playing that game again. But I'm like, yeah, that's a game where I'm like, okay, that game got good ratings. I know why it has good ratings, because it's a game where you can sit down and play it over and over and over again. It has a lot of replay value. It's a game where it's all like, the thing is this. I have to say, I put a lot of hours into that game when I was playing it a lot, and I still have a lot to do in that game. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, when you can play a game like that and have fun with it, you're not going to give it no bad ratings. But if my thing is this, if I give a game a bad rating, I think that game deserves that bad rating. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace.